and welcome. Welcome to the launch of the new KVMR Community Radio Building and Nevada Theater Backstage Expansion Project. Yeah! This day has been a long time coming, where the theater of the stage meets the theater of the mind, still symbolizes the collaborative nature of our efforts. As we enter the next phase of the project with this slogan in mind, we continue our focus of turning imagination into reality. That transition begins today. So please join me in welcoming our first guest speaker, the Mayor of Nevada City, Dwayne Strasser.
A while back, a few of the radio talent individuals came into the bike shop and said, Dwayne, they want to put the new radio station up in the tech center. And a lot of work went into that, and I thought, okay, so I thought, how do we keep it downtown? How do we keep it in the heart of downtown? And I grew up in a small town up by Yosemite, and I traveled many years racing bicycles, so I saw a lot of the towns in the Midwest where you'd walk down the main street, and the radio station was smack dab in the middle of downtown with a window, and you could actually see the DJ sitting in the window. And then right next door, you'd go order your eggs and your bacon and have breakfast as you heard the speaker outside on the sidewalk, you know, with the music, with the interviewee being spoken to that day. And it was kind of Americana. It was kind of cool. It's something that we're losing. And I thought, man, we can't let it go to the tech center. You know, Charles, Woods, David Osborne, they were the people that really helped start this out of the foundry. So the radio station started down at the foundry, and once all of you folks that helped put this together made it happen, I realized, wow, how cool is it that you can look across from where it started now and see the new facility, the new building is right there. They would really appreciate that. And I think the Tin building, several years ago, a lot of us sat down in a variety of committees, and the Theater Commission was trying to put together some grant money to rehabilitate the Tin buildings for storage, for dressing rooms, for the actors, for the theater staff. And it never really came into fruition, but it was a great thought. But it couldn't have happened in a better location, in my opinion. This is going to put the radio station and the theater together as partners. Again, what a partnership. Couldn't be better. Charles and David, as I saw in that email, historically, they would do live broadcasts out of the foundry as part of the radio station's programming. And so that's going to happen again now, obviously with the theater. With live musical performances that are right here on this stage. So there are a lot of possibilities that are going to happen. So a lot of us have kind of voiced our opinions, but we really haven't done the work. You guys are the ones that have done all the work. I look down in these rows here, and I'm amazed. I see Pat back there. A lot of people over the years have put their heart and soul into both the radio station and the theater. So give yourselves a big round of applause, and thank you.
Our next speaker is representing the Nevada Theater Company, Ron Spiller.
Please remain seated. Oh, you are seated. Last week I was talking to a neighbor about this project and explaining to her what we were trying to do, and after I was finished, her only comment was, "It's about time." And it is about time. You know, for 50 years or more than 50 years, we've had a potential asset for this theater sitting out back, fallow, underutilized, and actually deteriorating. And I know that there's a fine line between careful, deliberate thought and procrastination. So perhaps it's appropriate that it would take 50 or 60 or even 70 years for the right people to get together and talk about what their concerns were and to arrive at some kind of a collaborative effort to address those concerns. We at the Nevada Theater Commission are in close touch, of course, with the theatrical producers who use this theater as a venue for their productions. And they've made it plain to us that the theater, the facility of the theater, is delinquent in some areas, particularly in the backstage area. And we need to address that by expanding that backstage area and putting in accommodations for dressing rooms and bathrooms and rehearsal space and storage for props and sets. Concomitantly with our recognizing our shortcomings, KVMR for several years has known that they had outgrown their facility across the street on Spring Street there, and they would have to expand and to replace some of their antiquated equipment, some of which I believe are about the same age as this theater. And you'll see that on a video later on, just a mass of wires. The city, Nevada City, of course, has come to the realization that these corrugated metal shacks back here no longer maybe meet the criteria of historical buildings, and maybe perhaps even are getting to the point where they're some kind of an architectural hazard to the city. So these seemingly disparate entities have come together and articulated their needs and their concerns, and finally arrived at what we're calling a community partnership. And this partnership will not only enhance our theater and our great FM radio station, but be an enrichment to the character of Nevada City. A few weeks ago, the Union newspaper ran an opinion article that I had written about how I believe that the Grass Valley, Nevada City area had become the cultural center, not only of our county, our Nevada County, but on areas beyond. Now, I think the successful completion of this particular project here will enlarge and enhance and verify that status of our area. So obviously we're going to need the support of the community, so I hope you agree with my neighbor and say it's about time.
Imagination spurs dreams, and dreams, properly driven, turn into reality. But every dream, every project needs to be designed and built to meet the needs of the people who are dreaming it. The gentleman today who has been the architect and the designer of this new building is with us. I'd like to introduce him now, Jeff Gold.
Thank you very much for coming. You know, I'm a newcomer to this project. It's been 4 years. We scoured the streets of Nevada City looking for the new home for KVMR, and I'm so pleased that we've been able to come full circle and come back to this key corner of our downtown. When I moved up here in the 70s, actually my first pass at this building and site was with Mike Getz, who had the thought of showing films periodically in Nevada City, art films, and struck up a conversation with the Nevada Theater Commission at the time, and we sort of willy-nilly put together this idea of retrofitting the tin buildings as a black box theater, some backstage area, and periodically a screening room for movies. And so fast forward 40 years, we now have Nevada Theater film series. We have, you know, this theater being used so wonderfully by the community, and we also are going to have this rebirth of the tin buildings into a new high-tech facility for KVMR as the voice of our community, and really the marriage of these two buildings, where backstage is really going to be welded into the new building, and we're going to create openings in this back wall. It's not without its challenges, and you know, I really encourage all of you who are the backbone to this project to stay involved, and it's going to take continued work over the next year to birth this. I can't begin to you know, count the number of meetings and people that I feel have provided such important threads to this. I know the two organizations, their boards, their staff, their volunteers, the broadcasters, the technical committee, just such a wide, broad base of people that have given, you know, countless hours to this project in a selfless and creative way. And the city has been, you know, there at each step, encouraging us. And then the people that have given so generously of their funds and just the spirit of all of you and hundreds that aren't able to join us today. This is a community effort, not just of the two organizations, but of our whole community. And you know, the sense of our vision and our determination and our skill of being able to pull this off is, you know, speaks enormously, and it gives us a sense of well-being. It gives us a sense of the future. We're talking about not just here and now and us, but we're talking about many generations of people that are going to deeply appreciate the seeds that we're sowing right now with this new building. So thank you very much.
Our next speaker has the unique role of being the owner's representative. She's the liaison between the Nevada Theater Company, KVMR, and Landmark Construction Company. Keeps her busy, keeps her on her toes, but I'd like to introduce today, for you, Diane McIntyre.
Thank you all for being here. I am so excited about this project, and I think that is something that I came upon even before I knew I was going to be involved in it. When I first heard about the project, I thought, how perfect. And besides that, I live on Bridge Street. So to me, it is especially important. My background is I've been a licensed general contractor for nearly 25 years. And I'm also an architectural and landscape designer. And when I heard about the project, I just thought the design was fabulous. I am so grateful for the opportunity to be involved in this and to work with this amazing team of people. So far, I've been on the project several months, and I have been able to meet these incredible people. I will represent both the Theater Commission and KVMR and our entire community. That is a lot of people, but I want to be there for you. I want to be your voice on the job. When a building is built, there are usually three legs to that. There's the architect, the general contractor, and the owner. I am going to represent the owner, and that is all of you. And I want you to know that I care about your concerns. I want your input. I want you to be able to talk to me if you have any questions or anything about the project. I am very honored to have this position and to be your voice and to work with all the people in this project. Thank you very much.
Well, first we introduce the architect. Then, of course, we introduce the owner's representative. Now it makes sense that we introduce the gentleman representing Landmark Construction Company, the people who will build this new project. Please join me in welcoming Joe Bittaker.
Good morning. I don't think I need that, do I? It's a theater, right? I'm not quite sure why I'm here, except to say that Kevin Brennan is actually the guy that's going to be doing all the work. Mr. Brennan, Nevada City guy, living and working in the community for many years, most notably doing many projects for the Joint High School District here in town. Good luck, Kevin. Actually, I do know why I'm here. I'm here to say that we are honored and privileged to be a part of this process. We're blessed, in fact, to be able to work on such a fabulous project. The meeting of two of the great creative forces in Nevada County. It's a wonderful thing. Pardon me while I now refer to my notes. One of the main things for us in this project was to keep the project local. We partnered very closely with the Nevada County Contractors Association. We did everything we could to involve local people and local firms in the construction team. We're continuing to do so. I'm proud to say that the construction team for phase 1 of the project includes 100% local subcontractor team, and our labor also is 100% local. That's a big thing for us too. The project will take about a year. Hopefully maybe a little less, but they told me not to say that. It's going to take that long because there's some specific technical challenges that we need to meet. I guess we're going to go down the back wall of the theater building, and we're going to go down a little bit, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to shear down below that wall 12 feet down. And I guess we need to be careful with that, right? So we're going to take our time. We're going to take our time. It's a fabulous project. It's technically challenging. There's a lot of things that we're looking forward to, problems we're looking forward to solving. Obviously, it's not a big open field. We're sort of crammed right in the middle of downtown. A lot of access issues and safety issues that we're looking forward to addressing. But overall, it's going to be a blast. We're really proud to be a part of the project here. Really proud to help strengthen both the voice of the community and the oldest theater in California. Thank you very much.
Joe, I want to thank you again for emphasizing the fact that so much of this project, including the staff on it, are local folks. Kevin, it's great to know that you're here in town. And again, we look forward to working with you. Thank you. Our next speaker represents KVMR. He is the president of the board of directors, has been very involved with this project since the beginning, and is still very involved today. I know because I talk to him almost every day. So I'd like to introduce to you the president of KVMR board of directors, Michael Young.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. You know, I'm really honored to not only be on the board of directors of this great radio station, but also being a broadcaster there. It's a big deal to me, and it's an important part of this this whole process. As broadcasters, I have to be on the microphones 24 hours a day because we're the emergency broadcast facility here for the county. So my little piece of this pie is 4 to 7 a.m. So unless you're a early morning sleeper, you probably don't know who I am. But we like to come up, as broadcasters, we like to come up with clever little witty things to say about the station. Voice of the community, music of the world is one of those things. That's one that really stuck. My favorite one is one that was actually first came up by my friend Chris Town, who I see back there, which is KVMR FM, Nevada City, Marconi's dream realized. Thank you, Chris. Yeah. I know there's argument about whether it really was Marconi or somebody else, but Marconi's dream, Marconi was one of the original people. He was an Italian inventor, and his original thought was that he wanted to connect the continents with radio waves without wires. And that's kind of what we've done here, but we've gone beyond that now. This new facility is more than that. And so I think we need to come up with a new name for it, and I think it's going to be beyond Marconi. You recall that, you don't recall because you weren't around, but in 150 years ago, fire swept down Main Street here and burned the whole city. And one of the things that burned was the Bailey's rooming house. And now, 150 years later, we are saving our bricks, and they saved their bricks and pooled their money and created that facility. And now, 150 years later, we're doing the same thing with these backgrounds. So we're very, very excited about that. We are asking the community, everyone, to help join with us in paying for this. We still need finances for this project. 273 of you have already given, and we really appreciate that. And thank you so much for everyone who's already been part of this process. We are asking the community to join us in this thing, and thank you, Jeff, so much for designing such a beautiful building that we can have for our new radio station and our backstage area. We're looking so forward to the need here that we'll have 2 day-to-day studios that we can use, We have a room that will double as a community room and as a performance studio. We can have about 40 or 50 people here. And then we're also looking forward to miking this theater and having live music and theater productions, radio music productions, and all kinds of different stuff. So there's all kinds of possibilities. So thank you all so much for being part of that. I'd like to thank first the Bridge Committee, who serve as the project's executive committee, reviewing contracts and setting up our trust. That would be Chair Mary Ross. And Ron Spiller, who just spoke. Thank you, Ron. Hank Mack, who's a member of our Bridge Committee. Thank you, Hank. Don Cuman, Paul Drake, Bob Mitchell, and John Hensley, who just joined our board. Thank you, all of you, for helping out with this. And I want to thank our legal team, Alan Haley and Ray Olison, who ensured that everything is copacetic. I also want to thank Kathy Hillis, Jeff Gold, Diane McIntyre, Dennis Kutch, and Kathy Dotson. And I'd also like to thank the KVMR Technical Committee that helped with the interior design of the radio station. That would be Manager David Levin, Chief Engineer Dave Barnett, and broadcasters John Adams and Dennis Brunenmeyer. Thank you. I want to thank all the broadcasters and other volunteers at KVMR and the theater companies that supported the theater, and the many members of the community, 273 of them, you know who you are, who have supported this project and have given us money to get this thing going and taken it to this step. So thank you, all of you, for donating.
I'd like to introduce our last speaker for this morning. This gentleman has been deeply involved in the project and extremely supportive of our project. Without his help, we wouldn't have come as far as we have come today. He is the chairman of our capital campaign, Mr. Michael Funk.
Thank you, Rick. Well, I've seen a lot of buildings, break ground over the years, and you get those shovels out, and you have the media opportunities, the groundbreaking, and then there's the ribbon cutting events that happen. And I would say this is the first time I've ever been to a tin snipping ceremony. So it's good, though. It's going to be great to see those tin buildings down. As someone said earlier, I think the historical value has definitely passed us by. So, well, I'm the last one because I'm the one that always keeps asking people for money, and we want to make sure everybody that leaves here has that in their mind. But before we move on to taking out the tin, I want to just say that some of us have been working on this project for 4.5 years or more, and it's just been this concept and this dream that we've had all along, and to actually see it becoming reality, it's an unbelievable feeling. I know we all feel that way that have been involved, and there's been many people that have, that we've reached out to in the community that have seen this value of this vision and have, supported basically a concept on a piece of paper. And to all those people, we want to say, thank you for participating. Thank you for writing checks. It's given us a financial foundation to be able to, move forward on this. And without all those checks and all that support, we wouldn't be here today. I want to make an announcement that I'm sure the construction people will be happy to hear, is that we have secured a construction loan to guarantee that we can move forward with this project without any delays, as fast as the city, as fast as the construction guys will allow us. We have the funds ready to go. So that's like a lot of things, there's good news and there's bad news. So that was the good news. The bad news is we still have a long ways to go to raise the money that we need to pay for this project. And we're going to need a lot of people in the community who see the value in this, who see the amazing benefit this will bring to our community to step up. And there was a lot of folks that we've talked to over the years who just didn't really believe it was going to happen. It's hard to write a check to something that, again, it's, whether it happens or not, it's a little bit up in the air. And so I just want to say to all those folks who have been hesitant in the past to write a check to support us, that you can, kind of remove that excuse. You can check that off the list, because this thing is going to happen. Okay? So basically, no more excuses. And you know, with that in mind, we need to ask all of you who share in the excitement for this project to create something special for our community in Nevada City, to get out your checkbook and make a donation to KVMR and be part of rebirthing this historical building. And if you can't write a check, you know, talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to anybody that can help us, bring them into this project, and help us take this thing to the finish line. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.